Hi there, Toy here. Let's get caught up on my plans. So, this is Lit Carnivale. This isn't completely new, but I am representing it to the world. I gave a little bit of an intro last week, so I just wanted to explain what's happening here. So, this is a platform that I've set up to house some podcasts that I want to be, bringing to the public. And so the two that I will start with are the two that I've had success with in the past. So I'm going to be relaunching those. That is the Read Local show and the Read All Over show. So the Read Local show, I came up with that idea because in the area where I live, which I know is really rare for some people, other people can relate to it, but I have a very full, vibrant, diverse literary community at my fingertips. And so I thought if I'm going to be putting myself out there to promote books, reading authors, I could just start in my own backyard because there's so much here. And so that's where that kind of stemmed from. It really does connect to my overall goal, which is kind of a lifelong dream that hasn't happened yet, which is to actually host a book fair that I want to call Lit Carnivale. And I figured this was a good place to start. Just start by promoting books and authors and things like that, and eventually get to that point where I can host that book fair. My theme for the whole Lit Carnival thing was to be able to support local. And so that's where it kind of all originated. So I will be relaunching Read Local. I have a sign up on my Be Featured page where you can just click on that, fill out the application. There is an application process which I know will deter people, and I'm okay with that. If you there's also archive links available on the site. It actually says Read Local and All Over archive. And so you can actually go back and see the previous episodes to see kind of like how they went, what they were about. And so if someone likes that vibe, I think they'll fill out the application to be a part of that. And if they don't like the vibe, then they won't. And so another thing that I've done just because of this whole transition is one of the special things that I did with the original shows, which I'm going to continue doing, is offer additional kind of exclusive content for paid subscribers. And it's not something that takes away from like the show in any way whatsoever. It's additional. So I've always done that in the past, but because of this whole transition, um, I didn't want to sort of kind of gatekeep that information. So the previous episodes, bonus content, I've made it public. It's not available everywhere, but it is public everywhere. So if you go to the archive and you want to see that bonus footage that used to only be available to my paid subscribers, you can see the previous content now. It's available for the public. So you don't have to subscribe anywhere, but you may have to go somewhere to see it. But moving forward, that will continue to be for paid subscribers. I know I'm rambling, but it's all going to come together. So that takes care of the first podcast, which is the Read Local show and its bonus content. The other one was the Read All Over show because I've been part of the indie book scene for a long time, and I've also been part of the blogging scene for a long time. And I know blogging isn't what it used to be, but I'm still part of that community. I have met people from all over the world. One of my really good now author friends lives in Mexico. I had a friend for a long time that I followed who lived in Africa. And so, again, my whole mentality is if I'm going to put myself out there to promote books and authors, why limit myself to just my backyard? And so that's where the Read All Over show came from. So they're basically the same show, same format, but just a different base, but the audience could be global. So, and those are the two shows that I'm going to be relaunching in 2026. I'm starting to book those now. Like I said, it is an application process, and I do that for a reason. A lot of what I'm doing is free. I do have things that people can pay for. Um, and that just makes good business sense. to have things that people can pay for, but I also have designed it in a way that a person can participate without paying. And so if someone wants to take advantage of that, then they'll fill out my application. And if they don't, they won't. In addition to those two podcasts, I'm always having ambitions of doing more. And so I've been working with some aspiring writers. Have one specific writer that I've been hoping with her debut publication. And so I thought, why not do a podcast about aspiring writers? And so again, this is something that I'm going to be promoting and advertising so that hopefully that it can be launched season one in summer of 2026. And it is an application process as well. It's actually a two-part process just because again, this is free. There are a couple of things that they can pay for if they want to like enhance things. But because I know I'm targeting authors who are not yet like fully established, they are aspiring. I didn't want to give them so many options as the other people. And because this is free, I want to know if these people are really serious about it. So yeah, there is an application process. They have to qualify. This can't just be someone who has says, I want to be a writer and they not written anything, if that makes sense. I'm all for being a writer without seeking publication. I 100% find value and joy in just the act of writing, and I'm not going to put that down in any way whatsoever. However, for my Aspiring Writers podcast, I do want to speak to people who are pursuing publication. So that's why the application process is there. And the last thing that I'm really hoping to do, this one is just kind of, I don't think it's vanity, but it's me as a reader kind of like geeking out over the fun and the joy, the experience I have of reading something and want to share it with other people. And this might just be me. This could be one of those projects that I'm going to put a lot of time and effort and heart into, and no one really cares about it but me. But if I'm happy with it, then that's what matters to me. And so the last one that I'm hoping to launch in the summer of 2026 is a podcast where I actually will be interviewing readers. And again, it's an application process because I'm going to be giving some giveaways. So whoever comes on that podcast as my reader guest will have a chance to win some prizes. So they're going to walk away with something. We just don't know what it's going to be just yet. They'll have some things to choose from. I'm really working on the format for it. I think I've come up with something that should be fun. But the idea here is, again, I'm not just putting this out there for anyone who wants to get some free stuff to just show up, because people will show up for free. So again, they have to kind of fill out the application to be on the show. Because it is a reader feature and not an author feature, I'm not really offering them any like paid things. Like it's just free for them. But I do have the application process because I don't even know what the word is, average Joe. I don't have anything against Joe, but I don't want any just person who wants something free. I do want people who actually love and appreciate books and reading and the whole bookish kind of geekish culture who want to contribute to that. I would love to have a reader come onto my podcast and just go off about how much they love books. And so these are the four things that I'm working on. I'm booking now, recording all those kinds of things, planning for the future, and I guess we will see how it goes. And so this podcast, the Lit Carnivale podcast, will just be kind of weekly updates to tell you, kind of what's going on. So those are my plans for Lit Carnivale. I really am excited about the prospects. Maybe I'm the only one, but sometimes you have to be your biggest fan, and I'm okay with that. So please let me know if you have any questions. Leave me comments. Like I said, the links are available if you're interested in being featured. Lots of information is there. So even if you're not maybe interested in being featured right now, just kind of look and see what it's like. Maybe if you want to recommend it to someone else. Each one does have like an application process, and I did that intentionally because I put a lot of time and effort into it, and no one asked me to do that, so I'm not complaining, but I am saying that as much time and effort and love as I put into it, I want the people who are going to participate in it to do that as well. So that's why there's an application process for it. It is free for people to be on my podcast. and I'm going to be providing them to the world for free. But I am also going to be looking for opportunities to increase revenue, because this stuff, it takes time, effort, money. And so one of the last things that I'm really hoping to incorporate, like I said, I will be doing like additional like bonus footage for like paid subscribers. But in addition to that, I know what it's like to be an author who feels like they're in the void trying to reach readers. And so I have created an opportunity for what I'm going to call my community supporter spotlight. They could be considered advertisements, but basically, it's never going to be just some random company throwing money at me and I'm going to be putting ads in my podcast. That's not what I'm going to be doing. For my community supporter spotlight, it's really going to be other authors, writers, editors, illustrators, people within the bookish industry, people who have, done other things with me, either through Lit Carnivale or the Toy Box of Words, even my authentic stuff, or it just could be someone who is, actively contributing to that bookish community. These are the people that will be part of those ads, if you want to call them that, but I'm calling it the some community supporter spotlight. And those will be part of the shows as well, just because it does give people an opportunity who maybe aren't comfortable being on a podcast and talking and presenting, but still an opportunity to share whatever they have with that bookish community. And so I'm hoping to provide that. And so that was a lot. I know I probably sound like I'm rambling, but I'm just excited about the prospects. So again, questions, comments. If you think this is a horrible idea, sure, you can tell me. Just try not to be too hateful with it. If you think it's a great idea, I definitely want to hear that. And if you're completely indifferent, that's okay too. But this is the plan moving forward. I'll be giving weekly updates on the Lit Carnivale podcast and hoping to launch those 4 podcasts in summer of 2026. And we will see how it goes. All right, guys, stay safe and keep reading. Oh, yeah, and be blessed. Lit Carnivale #2, starring Toy Thomas, featuring no one else at this time. Topics discussed: Read Local Show, Read All Over Show, Aspiring Writer Podcast, Reader Podcast, Community Supporter Spotlight. Produced by Toy Thomas in association with the Toy Box of Words and Lit Carnivale. Directed by Toynette Toy Thomas. Thanks again to the Lit Carnivale community at Substack and here on YouTube. Your book fandom is here.